Hello students, this is me G speaking again, and I'm going to tell you today a little bit about abstract expressionism, as you see a lot of it at the MoMA. So, I told you a little bit about it yesterday. You will see Willem de Kooning and Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko, Barnett Newman, and many others. But I just want to tell you a little bit more about Jackson Pollock especially. And let me just start with the abstract expressionism movement, which was the first specifically American movement after the war, World War II. Started in 1940s. And so those guys whom I have mentioned belong to this movement, and many others, but I'm not going to mention all the names because it's way too many for you to remember anyways. So Jackson Pollock, I told you about him a little bit yesterday, and as I said, after the World War, many European immigrants in America, in New York, formed this group of abstract expressionism, and only one was amongst them who was an American, all-American cowboy, so to speak, and that was Jackson Pollock. So his work has been made very popular and famous, and whether he deserved it or not is another question. His painting style, you know how I described last time how he was laying the canvas on the floor in his studio and pouring the paints and splashing and splattering paints all over the canvas. And it was also called action painting, because he was like painting in action. And some critics even said about it that this type of art making that Pollock was engaged in was not painting but an event. Not a picture but an event. And some critics claimed that the gesture on the canvas was a gesture of liberation from value, political, aesthetic, and moral value. Now, it's another question whether art should be liberated from values, whether art should be only for art's sake, or, that's another discourse. You can express your opinion about it. In fact, I would like a discussion about it. What else? So, yeah, I don't remember what I told you yesterday about Pollock, but he wasn't a very nice guy. First of all, he was married to Lee Krasner, who herself was an excellent painter, but she decided to support her man and give up her own fame, very unfortunately. Crazy stuff women do. Anyways, he married her, she supported him, he cheated on her, and he was a drunkard, and he would go to a bar and then the bar would empty because he would just make a mess of it. So he was not a popular guy, that's for sure. And the way he died was in a car accident, and when they found a wreck with him and a woman in it, they called his wife, Lee Krasner, to come and identify the body. Even there, he was with his lover. So, not a nice guy. But anyways, that's him. Yeah, some other people in this group whom I have mentioned several times already was Willem de Kooning, who has painted many pictures, but one of the most famous ones that you will see at the MoMA is the woman, which he worked on for 2 years with heavy impasto, and it's a grotesque looking creature that he has painted with bulging eyes and teeth, and it's like ugh. Anyways, some people like it, I don't. It's called abstract expressionism. They're expressing themselves, they're expressing their feelings, and who knows what they are expressing, I don't know. I think he's expressing his misogyny. Robert Rauschenberg, I don't think I mentioned him the other day. Very, very interesting artist. Enough about him. Franz Klein. Franz Klein was also a very interesting artist. He painted a lot with blue. He liked color blue. And one of his projects that interested me, I found it quite interesting, was actually a live painting event that he used women, naked women, and he has painted their bodies blue, and then they imprinted themselves on a canvas that was stretched on the floor in front of audience, of course. Or another one, he would again paint the woman, naked woman, and then he would pull the woman all over the canvas and use her as a brush. So artists came up with all kinds of new things to do to attract attention. So that was Klein. What else? So it was a movement that started in America, in New York, and it became very, worldwide, influential all over the world, and it changed the discourse, art discourse in the world, because before that, Paris in France was the art mecca, so to speak. Everything that was happening there. And from now on, New York became the art mecca, and everything that was important in the art world was happening here. So much for that. And check out the video and answer the questions. And if you want to send me questions or have some discussion points, it would be great to have a nice discussion. Okay, if you want to have a Zoom meeting, that would be also really nice. If even if not the whole entire class, but I don't know, maybe 4 or 6 students and myself, we could meet on a Zoom and have a nice discussion. Okay, so bye now, see you tomorrow.